What's up, everyone? Make sure you check out the WESWES Network website at westwestnet.com. Here you can find amazing independent podcasts based in Aotearoa, covering everything from pop culture to mental health. Also, if you enjoy our content and want to support us, please consider clicking on the support button on the homepage of the website. We appreciate your patronage and look forward to delivering more thought-provoking and quality conversations.
West, y'all.
So your niece is pre-ball, man. I remember my ball back at school, and you know during that time, that was when the fashion for suits and that for the boys was like those colourful suits, like bright orange, like green.
Like who? Like Redhead Kingpin?
Yeah, because it was back in those days.
Yes.
But you know, you said your niece is going to a pre-ball. Like we didn't have pre-ball.
I didn't even know what a pre-ball was. No. I don't know until I'll get to it.
So what did they do? Did they drink at pre-balls or?
I don't know. It's her first ball. She's a year 13. My daughters have just had their first ball this year, so we didn't have a pre-ball and they didn't go to one, so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's kind of funny because you just taking me back to my school ball and stuff. And
what school did you go to?
I went to Waipareira College.
Ah, yeah. My daughter and son go there now.
Oh, they go there now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are they far in school?
One's year 12 and he's year 9.
What's that in form?
3rd and 6th.
Oh, yeah. I'm still getting used to that.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten used to the years. Every time someone says year of something, I'm like, oh, what form was that? Was that 1, 2, 3?
Well, how old are you then?
I'm 44.
I'm just trying to think who I would know. That's John Hawker will be too old for you. Just trying to think. No, I can't remember.
Yeah, because I can't remember when they changed over from forms to years.
No, I don't know either.
Jacqui, thanks for coming on the back of 145.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. And you know, it's funny because you're probably the fastest guest to say you're gonna come on.
Oh,
because it took a day, 24 hours.
Yeah.
We just connected 24 hours ago, and here you are. So thank you for that.
No, thank you for having me.
And it's cool having mutual friends, you know, that can make it happen and stuff like that. So, but man, I've been really busy for this podcast because this is the first time I had back to back.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I'm gonna have one tomorrow too,
and
cool. Monday and Tuesday. So it's like 4 in a row.
You have heaps of traction for your podcast.
But the reason why you're here is because a mutual friend of ours said I should get you to come because you were running for the local board, the Henderson-Massey, Henderson-Massey Local Board, and voting papers out everybody's mailbox, and everyone's gonna vote by Saturday next week.
Yeah.
So
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock Saturday. So because man, I haven't even got my papers yet, and it's been like I've heard on the news too that a lot of people haven't had their papers come in the mail or still waiting for them.
One of my mates at work hasn't got his, but he's registered to vote, and they talked about a unpublished roll.
What's that? Unpublished roll?
Yeah, so he's on the unpublished roll, and he has to cast a special vote, but he had to you have to chase someone to ask how to do it. So I think we're going to do a video on how to do that next week because heaps of people haven't got their papers.
Oh right, so you know as well.
Yeah.
So man, that's gonna be tight because I don't think you can post them anymore because it'll be too late, right?
You can drop them off at the library or Countdown or yeah.
But the postal one's like too late.
I don't even know where a post office is.
True that, hey. Where's
a postal box? I don't even know if we have them anymore.
Do we still have Kiwi Bank? Isn't that part of Kiwi Bank? The post shop?
Yes. I can't remember the last time I went to I went to AA to pay my registration. I don't.
Sign of the times, eh?
Yes.
Sign of the times, like
we need
email.
to go digital. We need to go digital to vote.
You know what? That is a convenient thing to do, to go to digital. And I don't know why we haven't gone there yet. But I was thinking, like, a lot of people won't trust that, I think. Because people might get hacked or... Do you think?
Well, I mean, local elections, who's going to hack someone's email to put in a local vote for a local board member? Who's going to do that?
Some IT whiz. But yeah, you're right though. It needs to be convenient because at the moment it's not convenient. Because this waiting for them to come in the mail, filling up the form,
Yeah. Then going to find somewhere to drop it
going
off.
and finding someone to drop it off. Sometimes people forget and it's there in the mail still for a whole 2 weeks. Who even checks their mail, you know? All the bills coming through internet.
They do. Yeah, no,
through
you're right.
email
Yeah.
and apps
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah, and you pay online and you don't,
Yeah. So it's become out of our way to vote for local elections.
Yes.
And maybe the answer is to maybe build it up so people can actually go to the polls and vote.
Well,
there.
that was another, people were saying we should just make it like a national election and make it a one day where people do that and make it, an event that's, but I don't know why, even for a national election, why can't we go to a digital?
I think that if we do go digital, it has to come in the national realm first.
Yeah.
So people can understand it,
Yeah.
and then local will be easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. There has to be a change. Do you know any other country that does digital
there
voting?
are. Shoot. Well, not America. We know that.
Yeah, see, because they got hacked. See, that's why people don't trust it. That's why people don't trust it because of America, because of Trump.
Yeah, we don't have Trump here though.
Yeah, funny man. Because I remember when I was in Samoa, and they had elections there, and it was the old school like you go vote, and then they felt up your thumb.
Oh.
So there's a mark on your thumb. It doesn't come off, so
Yes.
they know you voted. So you can't go vote twice.
My nieces and nephews just come from Aussie, not that long ago. They were saying you get fined if you don't vote over there.
Oh yeah.
So that's
I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But it's weird because I didn't know this when I was in Samoa when they were voting. I didn't vote, but my family did, and yeah, you had to have a mark on your thumb to say that you voted. But there's you know how over here we have the Maori vote and
The general role.
vote. They have the similar thing over there in Samoa.
Oh.
They have the half caste vote
Oh.
and the Samoan vote.
Oh.
Yeah. So
But do you vote for the same people?
so we voted for the half caste and the half caste vote.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't know how that works,
Right.
but yeah, it reminded me of here.
yeah.
like, the separate roles. So yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. But so you've been on the campaign trail. But before that, what got you into the going for the local board? Have you always been interested in politics, or is there something in West Auckland that you wanted to get involved with from the very beginning?
So I work for an organisation called Waipareira. We have a CEO who's very political, has been for a long, long, long time. So at an organisation like that, it's real hard not to increase your political awareness of things. So I think I've always had an interest in politics. Rawiri used to work for us, Rawiri Waititi, and I'm probably more interested in how decisions are made, who makes the decisions, what factors do they consider when decisions are made, and then the impact of those decisions. So yeah, I guess I probably have had an interest in politics for a while, just never really thought, I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah. And was that just through working at Waipareira?
My mum, like any family, you're influenced by, and they would they always vote. My dad, even though he was old and dodgy, very vigilant in his voting. So you always, you grew up learning you actually have to vote, but when you vote, you actually have to think about, why am I voting for these people? But it definitely been harnessed and probably flourished a bit more at an organisation like Waipareira. Yeah.
And how long ago was this?
How long ago was
when you decided to actually go for the board?
I think we started, so it was a discussion that I had with my boss and John, and we we're just talking about we needed more people to just grow our political savviness, and a local board was an area, that's quite small, that's not not central government. So I think probably towards the end of last year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
So not a burning desire for all my life, no.
No. No, that's cool. Because your organisation has done a lot, been around for a long time, and it's done a lot for West Auckland anyway. Like I know you guys do the when you guys did the testing for the COVID testing, and that was something that was really good for the community. Like everyone went down. Were you there too on the ground? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the last 2.5 years have been spent, actually all of us, so our whole workforce moved to support the on the ground stuff. So yeah, different, and vaccinations, rats test, all of that. Yeah, that's been our world for the last 2.5 years. Yes.
Yeah. Are you glad it's over?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's over, but I think what we see with families, it's not over for them. So
Right. What's the main problem?
Oh, it's, I've heard people say, "Oh man, COVID, I'm so glad it's over," and it is. But we've got kids that aren't going to school still. We've got their parents that we've got heaps new families that before COVID didn't even understand what a benefit was. Because they didn't have to experience it. So we've got a whole group of new families come through that have never experienced unemployment before, so they have to relearn new skills. Right. It's just, I think for the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to really see the impacts of COVID, socio and economically. So, yeah.
Because that was the main thing that was the concern, people losing their jobs.
Yeah.
If it was mandates or not,
yeah.
or people just losing their jobs.
Yeah.
But, man, was there a big surge, was there, on unemployed?
Well, so we predominantly deal with low socioeconomic families out west, Māori, Pacific, and a lot of Pākehā families we work with. But we had families come through who have never, because they've lost their jobs, not through mandates, but through, they just had no business,
Yeah.
So just, they were, because they've never experienced that type of poverty or loss before, just don't know how to handle it. Mental unwellness increases. So it was just a new type of family that had started to come through that we'd never had before, and they'd never experienced that.
And were you part of the team, like, trying to sort things out?
Yes.
And how were you guys doing that, like, with the support and that? Just was it conversations and? So
we had to, an organisation like us have, 150, 60 people on the ground maybe. So I always term it in 2 different types of lockdowns. The first lockdown was about getting people food, getting them tested, getting them connected to someone. And then the second lockdown, and unemployment was big in that. Then the second lockdown was all about the vaccinations and the getting people vaccinated, managing all of that, and still continuing to support them. And off the back of that, when Omicron, was that the one where everyone got? Then it was the supporting those that got that. So that probably since the beginning of the year has been our, primary focus, that. We had call centres. We've never had a call centre before. We had a warehouse distribution. Right. We never had that before. So we just had to change our business to see what the community needed.
Right. And how are things looking right now?
In terms of our work and what we've been doing?
And with the support you've been giving to these families, are they getting back on their feet? Is things getting better now?
Yeah, definitely.
Because the borders are open now and stuff.
Yeah. Things are starting to improve. I'm really concerned about young people though, A lot of them don't want to go back to school. A lot of them, when my girl was year 13 when lockdown happened, so she didn't have a real good transition from finishing school to starting anything. And then my son, who was a year 8, starting year 9, he didn't. So there's thousands and thousands of kids that experienced that. And the attendance rates at school are still really low. Yeah. So it's stuff like that people say, oh, we're out of COVID. Well, actually, we're still dealing with the impacts of it.
Yeah. Are you seeing with because if you listen to the news often, they always talk about the rising crime.
Yes.
Or the what is it, the ram raids going around, and the kids are doing this stuff, And even stuff like the punishments aren't really as strict. People are not going to prison; they're going to home detention, for rape and that story that came on. And so, is this all connected? Do you think?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So I've read somewhere that the rates of crime, extreme crime, like the ram raids for under 13-year-olds has increased by 75%. So they're doing it way younger. But you've also got families who have older kids who have gone back to work because they're trying to support their families. I think it's a poverty issue. It's trying to manage their lives in this new era of post-COVID. And it is young people that I think we really need to pour heaps of support into over the next coming years.
Yeah, because it has been blown up on the news and stuff.
Yeah, but they always show the bad stuff. They don't show
Yeah,
the
yeah.
good stuff. And
And then that's why, like, because you know, people don't trust the media.
yeah, no, what, do you blame them? But, you know, on the flip side, I've seen heaps of young people set up, you know, they've got little side gig businesses, you know, they do, to generate money, and their level of innovation has really increased. So
They don't blast these stories. Yeah.
No, yeah.
So you only get the negative
Yeah.
side, because those stories that if those stories sell, the negative stories, they sell.
Yeah.
So that's why.
No, because they reinforce stereotypes about our people. So, yeah.
And that's a big problem, man. That's a big problem. I don't know what's going on in the landscape that's trying to, I know, because you know, you touched on that, but when I think about that, I'll think about decolonization.
Yep.
And that's a big, like, that's a lot of people getting educated on how to
What that
do
means.
that, what that means now. Decolonization, like taking things back from what you think is normal. But, I can't explain it very well, but it's like, we weren't meant to be like this there.
I don't go on my. I guess for me, decolonizing myself is understanding what is actually culture and what is not culture. You know, what has been made to be culture that actually was never our culture before.
Yeah.
And understanding that actually that's not how we were brought up to be. So yeah, it's for everyone. It looks different, I think.
Yeah. Because I always think about that, because I was trying to figure out what it does mean, and what I've come up with is, okay, here's a culture that someone has come in and taken the best bits of the culture, and now we like this stuff, we'll continue with that, but we don't like the other stuff, we won't do that.
Yeah.
So we'll train you not to do that anymore.
Yeah, because else is better. Yeah. And then you think that's normal. Actually,
Yeah, that's the thing, and people do think it's normal.
Yeah.
And that's when the problem starts.
Yeah.
And then, but then it's cool now, because I think the education of that is here now. I don't know if they teach it in the schools now and stuff, because I remember when I was at school, in history,
What did you get taught?
we just got taught like the English,
Came and saved us?
No, we talked about Queen Elizabeth I
Yeah.
and King Charles I and that kind of stuff. Like, oh yeah. And then we just got taught about I remember having a class about the Treaty of Waitangi, but it wasn't really. It's not like what I know now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I learned more about Treaty of Waitangi now.
Yeah.
Than I did at school.
Yeah.
You know, so I see, because I went to school back in the mid '90s.
Yeah.
And see, I don't even know what they're teaching kids in school now. But I know decolonization has come up in the media.
Yes, all the time.
And I feel like it's being taught, or people are aware now. But you can see it when people are pronouncing the names properly. And I think a lot of organizations are trying to put that into
their normal everyday work.
normal everyday work and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is a movement, eh?
Yeah, some people call that woke, hey? I hate that. I went to a school called Auckland Girls Grammar, so my mother shipped me from Massey. I used to catch Whānau bus, and at that time they had a total immersion unit, and we had people will probably call them quite radical teachers, and they taught us. So we got the treaty for many, many years. And even when we went into, so for the first couple of years we were in this unit, and then in the fifth form or year, 11 now, we went to the mainstream school, but they taught us civil rights. You know, they didn't teach us all the stuff that other schools were teaching us. So we were real lucky to have that sort of education. And then when I had my own kids, I just wanted them to be able to understand where they came from and be proud of it, and not when they were adults try and find their culture. So they've been to our Māori schools their lives, but their father is also Samoan, so they need to learn that part of their culture better too.
Right, yeah.
Well, he's not in Samoan, I'm also Samoan, but yeah. So we've got a bit of learning to do on that side.
yeah. It's interesting how you see it work.
Yeah, no.
They call it work.
Yeah.
Because when people say work, I think it's something that is different. It's not. It's a new thing, right?
Yes.
But I think it's got to do with. I think that word woke has got to do with PC,
Yes.
and I don't think PC's got anything to do with race.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like a identity thing.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like these new identities, which got nothing to do with race, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, race was there for a long time,
Yeah.
but now we're giving rights to these new identities, which are not might not be even a race.
Yeah.
And I think that's what woke means.
Yeah, I just when I've ever heard people say, "Oh, they're just being woke," it is political. It's negative connotation around being politically correct.
Yeah. But it's weird, eh? Because all the stuff has been happening in the last maybe 6-7 years. You know, it's never been around before.
What do you mean?
Like all these new words like woke, safe space. And,
Yeah.
and I think what happens is that, you know, the whole racism thing. I think that someone just threw that into the mix.
Into the wokeness mix.
Yeah. Yeah, to piggyback off from it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
To piggyback off from it.
Yeah.
Because if wokeness is about poor people trying to bring them up or try and make things equal, it's like a socialist kind of thing. Like it's socialism, right?
Yeah.
It's like making things equal.
Yeah.
Making things fair. Like if you're too rich, then you got to bring back down to help the poor people
Then
come
you
back
got to
up.
distribute your wealth somehow, and
Yeah. See, that's still got nothing to do with race,
Yeah.
right?
no.
But then I think what happens, and then you
They
know when
chuck
the
the race card in on it.
Yeah. The race card gets chucked in on that, and then the people that like have got something to say, they make that that's woke as well, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. It gets a bad rep, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Man. So we got 1 week to go.
Yes.
How's your campaign coming along? What have you been doing? How? Because you're running for local board, is that right?
Yeah.
And that's different, eh? That's different to council.
Yes.
So when I understand local board, there's different local boards around New Zealand,
Yes.
and they just handle a specific area in the city, right?
Yes.
So you handle Massey,
Henderson-Massey, which encompasses Te Ratu, North, South, Ranui, bits of Sunnyvale. It's real bizarre. Like Pass Park isn't considered part of it. Yeah. So that's how big that area is.
And are these areas the same as electorates, or not?
No.
No. When
No.
it comes to
Well, I don't
national-
know because I'm in the Māori role, so
Okay.
our area is different again.
Right.
Yes.
So these boards are like the first point of call when it comes to finding out what the issues are.
They're meant to
the
be,
city.
yes, in your little area. So they're meant to be. There's 8. You can vote for 8 on, and they're meant to be people who are, reflective of your community or can know on the ground what's happening in your community. But they can only they're quite limited in their decision making, which I think I've learnt on the campaign trail. So they make decisions around parks, around what else? Libraries, I think. They do have a pool of money where they can fund certain initiatives in the community. But their job really is to be the voice for those on the ground and then advocate up to the councillors who sit at the table with the mayor.
Right. And
Well, that's what I've understood it to be.
right. And then they have a committee, and you guys
There's different.
feed each different
Committee.
committee.
Yeah.
If it's a parks committee or
Roads.
right.
So Auckland Transport will suggest something. They've got to get feedback from their community. I don't know if Auckland Transport then listens. But from what I've seen, no. But yeah, so they are limited on what they their decision-making powers, but they're still really important in some of the stuff that they make decisions on.
Yeah. And how many are elected to a board?
8. For Henderson-Massey, it's 8.
So different local boards have different.
I think it's maybe on the population. I think there was one 6 and 7, so I'm not too sure how that's all figured out.
Right. So what's the population now for Henderson?
It's around nearly 200,000.
Right. Yeah.
And we have one pool. No, I'm just
One swimming pool.
one swimming pool.
Is that WESWES?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's because I never understood what the structure was.
Yeah.
With the
No, neither did I until I started doing
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
yeah, because and it was quite confusing when you had to vote because who are these other people?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
who am I voting for?
Yeah.
Actually, now you wait
Yeah.
for all these different
Yeah.
people, like,
Yeah.
you know. But you're not going on any ticket, eh? You're
No.
independent.
Yeah.
And then you got guys or people that are going on like Labour ticket.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. Is that something that Labour just pushes? Oh, they approach someone and say, "Oh, can you run for
I think
board?"
that must be how they do it.
Right.
So there's 8 Labour candidates for that are in this one. How many of them? 2, I think, already were existing members on the board already. So yeah, 3. Chris Carter.
Right. So, seems just like endorsement, eh? Like just so you don't have to do any work. You just put the Labour
Well, yeah.
stamp
yeah.
on your sign, and that's enough.
Yes. Yeah, I don't. We've had to meet the candidate evening where one was, I think, organised by Vote Auckland, and then we put one on at the Raza just so people can come and ask questions. And one of the questions, which I thought was real interesting, is it better to be with a ticket or aligned to a party, or is it better to be independent? So, yeah, I thought that was quite a good question.
Right. So, how do you, if you wanted to go independent, you go down your route. If you wanted to align with a party, how do you do that? Go about.
I don't know. I have no idea.
So they must get approached, eh?
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How else would they know?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So if you get elected into the local board, do you already know where you're gonna be aligned to, like parks or libraries or stuff like that?
No.
Or do you just what happens there? Do they just put you in somewhere?
I assume they'd have to vote in a chairperson, and then you must get allocated like portfolio type things to look after. Right. I assume I'm just I'm just making up my own process here.
Well, what would you like to do?
What would I like to do? Have I thought there for? I guess because I've got a family and I've got grandchildren, parks is probably an area I like. I'm not big on bus lanes.
So transport, no.
But transport is real important though. But that sort of sits at my understanding it sits at a council level and the CCOs. What are they called? Council-owned, council-controlled organisations. Yeah. But the local board should be used. They should be the voice for those to feed up into the councils. Yeah, to the councillors.
Right, because the CCOs go straight to the councillors.
Yeah, so they all have, they get their own portfolios too, and then the CCO will report to a certain group.
Right. So that could be a good, nice change then. Because, see, for me it makes sense that the local board members, because you guys are on the ground.
Yes.
You know exactly
supposed
what's
to
going
be on the ground, yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's supposed to when you should.
Yes. No, I agree.
Because obviously,
yeah.
you guys are. You guys should be feeding the CCOs.
No, so in between us is people, the councillors. So we have 2 for Waitakere. So currently they're Shane Henderson and Linda Cooper. And they sit at the table with, I think there's 20 of them, and the mayor. And they're the ones that form little groups. I don't mean groups, committees. And then the CCOs will report to them.
But that's changed though. They should report to you guys. I think that should be the change.
Wow.
Because you guys are on the ground.
Yeah,
you guys
exactly.
know more than anyone else.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think Linda Cooper.
The structure. Yeah.
Linda Cooper's just sitting on a nice chair up there. And, what's happening? Asking the wrong people what's happening. Should be asking you guys.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah.
So I think because I had Craig Lord on last night, and that's what he was saying. So he painted the picture to me that relationship, and he wanted to change that relationship.
Oh yeah,
because you guys were on the ground. He wanted to give you
closer
guys
to the ground. Yeah,
he wanted to give the local board more power.
Yes, I agree with that.
And now I know what he's saying because now I'm hearing that it makes sense that the CCO should talk to you guys.
Yeah. Well, they need to listen first. Is probably to whoever their boss is.
Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of stupid because
we pay them.
And what are you there for?
Yes.
If you're not gonna tell anyone, what you guys see in that. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that job, the local board.
Well, like it would be, the more I've learnt about it, I was just like, what can you make decisions about? Like really what, so your job actually is probably just to be a real pain in the ass to your counsellors who then need to be a pain in the ass at the table that makes decisions.
And that's not a really good relationship.
No, but you know what I mean. Well, make them accountable if I say that. Yeah. Because you're accountable to the community, so they need to be accountable as well.
Yeah. And then you got all these other organisations like Sport Waitakere.
Yes.
And I had them on the podcast too, and they give data to the CCOs.
Oh, okay. What do you know that?
Because they know how many people cycle through sports.
Oh, how do they get that? Oh,
have bikes for cycling.
But we don't have a registration of who owns a bike. How do they know that?
No, they just have a good idea of cyclists. So that's the type of information they can give up to whoever wants that information. So they get all this data through sport.
Yes.
To use to whoever wants it, whoever needs to know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. See, so it seems to me there's a lot of stuff happening that should go for you guys that doesn't.
That might, I don't know. I don't sit at the local board, so I don't, because they are a council entity anyway, Sport Waitakere. So, they might already do a report to local board. I don't know.
Would they be a CCO or no?
Nah, I don't think so. No.
They're just a consultant, or
I think they're just funded through community to provide a service, like Zeal. How they're funded to provide a youth service or the youth health hub.
Yeah. Because do you know how the money gets distributed?
Down?
Yeah.
From our rates?
Yeah.
Well, not in great detail, but like some of the CEOs of those CCOs get paid. Wow.
A lot.
Way lot.
That's the criticism, eh?
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. Way more than the mayor.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Seems dodgy.
Wow, I don't know how you can get more than your boss. Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Especially AT, they had a
water care, like, oh no.
Yeah, what is that all about? The water care stuff? Because I always hear the free waters.
Oh no, I was just talking about when they didn't manage our water well, and we had to go on
right.
water rations, like, and then they still pay that CEO, but.
So that's all going to change, eh?
Well.
The water care stuff?
Yeah, well, they're talking about Three Waters co-governance. Iwi will have a co-governance role, but it's around the stormwater, what's the three? Stormwater. I know this. Stormwater.
Like like the mains? The water mains?
Yeah, stormwater. There's three of them. Well, obviously because it's called Three Waters.
The sea?
Yeah. The water quality, and and the lakes taking water from other people's.
So, because I don't understand. So they're taking it away from water care. So water care's not going to be in charge of that anymore.
Yeah. Because they couldn't manage our water well.
Right.
The dams, like, remember we had no water in the dams and we had to go on restrictions. Are we still on restrictions? I think when...
Have you seen the rain last week?
Yeah, it was...
I think, man, the month has been the wettest month, eh?
Has it?
I think, yeah. It's been raining hard. They can't say we restricted it anymore.
Well, yeah. I don't know how much people listen. Actually, no, we always listen in the beginning, and then as it gets longer and longer, we tend not to listen anymore.
Yeah. So going back to your campaign, what have you been doing towards your campaign? I've seen your social media page, and you're doing these little interview things. That's cool, man. That's cool because you have to this day and age, man. You have to use social media.
Yeah, no, definitely.
To get yourself out there and stuff.
What have I been doing? Just I'm real lucky that I've worked already on the ground, so I know a lot of people already. Right. And then it's been actually real interesting talking to businesses in Henderson, talking to businesses in different areas. I wouldn't probably, go out and talk to them about their needs in business. Just learning heaps more about. You think you have an idea of what what's happening in the community, but until you really talk to people on the ground, that's when you get the real gist of it.
When you talk to business, what's the common thing?
In Henderson?
What's the common gripe?
Most of them have been there for a long, long, long time, mate. I talked to Norcross, what the hell, Grant, I think was his first name. His family's been there for 100 years. And so they've already got a vested interest in Henderson. They ain't going anywhere. They want it to see it thrive. So it was real simple things like don't have that blue, don't have the, that was their main one.
That was a disaster, eh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Especially those planters.
Yeah.
And how they make everything in one lane. Cause then,
some of those planters are still there. I don't know why they haven't taken them away yet.
See those traffic jams that was happening?
Yeah, I know.
Man.
The first couple of days that they had it going with the traffic, because we're right there, we could have seen it and we're just like, oh, mate. But no, the businesses, they just talk about bringing more energy to Henderson, revitalisation, having better shops, attracting more people to... Remember back in the day, Henderson was the place that you caught the Whānau bus to go and hang out in Henderson?
Yeah.
People don't do that anymore. So they were talking about, how do we just bring life back to Henderson so it's a place where people want a destination.
I agree with that because I think ever since Westfield left, because they knew Westfield knew something was up in Henderson.
Yeah.
So we better get out of here, guys, because I think this area is coming down. So let's leave.
Yeah.
So I think an Australian company owns West City now.
Yeah. Yeah. So was it Catherine? What the hell is that arcade at the front?
The Catherine Place.
Yeah. So half of it's owned by the mall and half of it's owned by the council.
Oh, really? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's the street.
So I don't know how it. So no one actually has any responsibility for what happens there. So heaps of the businesses, and because they said every day they were talking about the types of people that hang out there, and they didn't want them gone. They just wanted it to be safer and more attractive there. So it's finding people that have been there for a long time. They know how to fix things. Why would you go and talk to anyone else when they've got a vested interest already?
I reckon it started when Westfield left and then just went downhill from there. But also what helped Henderson come down even more was Newland Mall upgrading and then Northwest building. Sort of sucked everyone out. And then
and they've all got eateries and stuff. We don't have eateries in Henderson.
Yeah. So how do we, because I want to see Henderson be come up again, I want them to come up. Yeah. Because Wickles left the mall. Wickles left West City.
Yes.
And I think, it's game over. That's a sign. When Wickles leaves, no one's reading books around here. No one wants to read books around here.
We've got Paper Plus.
Oh, Paper Plus moved in.
Yeah.
And then Vodafone leaves. I was like, that's it. Vodafone's gone.
Yes, I don't know.
Everyone's got phones and Vodafone's gone. How's that work?
Yeah. They got 2 degrees.
Oh, New Zealand now.
Is that what it is now?
Oh. It's going to change next year. One New Zealand.
Oh, Vodafone. Yeah.
One New Zealand Warriors. I think that was the new name. Are you a Warriors fan?
Yes. Please could it not just be one New Zealand Warriors game that they win next year.
I think that was the joke too.
Oh.
They can't even win one game.
Yes.
Yeah, but man, I like to see Henderson come up again.
Yeah. Yes.
And it looks, because the council building, that looks flash.
Yes, but nothing else around it does.
But I don't know why it's gone down like that.
One of the ladies that owns Results Fitness Gym, she used to own one on Lincoln Road. Anyway, she's right by Stevie's Lane. She said, I didn't even know it was called Stevie's Lane. It was just the road that you take a shortcut through. Anyway,
was that the back?
Yes,
by the train track?
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And she had approached the council because of her staff and clients and safety. Can we have more lighting there? And they told her to pay for it herself.
What?
Yeah.
So they don't care about Henderson.
Well, that's the impression you get, eh? Like, she's talking about safety, and just along that strip there, all the owners were like, we just need more lights, so, bring a bit more brightness to it. But that's what she was told, you can pay for it yourself, and so she did.
She did?
She did.
Oh, wow.
Because for safety for her, eh? For her clients and her staff, and, But...
So they don't care about putting lights in, but they care about making the blue paint on the intersection. And spending how much money? Did you hear how much money they spent on that?
I heard it was like 1.5, including all the, because they had to take it off, but they still haven't yet.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, that was really unpopular.
Yeah.
And how does that thing like that happen? Does it the people in the local board or?
I think they have a say in it. That is a Auckland Transport,
Right.
and the local board does have a say in it, or they are meant to get community input into that. But when the owners, the people on that strip in particular that I talked to, they said no one came to talk to them about it.
Mm. Do you remember the old Henderson Square?
Yes.
Yeah. I loved that place when I was a kid.
When you walk around and come down the ice cream shops down the bottom.
Yeah, that's right. and the ashtrays and the... Remember the ashtrays in the mall?
No. Oh, were they high?
It was a rubbish bin with the sand on top. And you butt you butt your cigarette out. Those were the days, eh?
I was on Lincoln Road yesterday, and we drove past the fruit shop, and because I got how old are they in the car with me? One's 25 and one's 30. I was like, their veggie shop used to be the castle, amusement castle.
The video games.
Yeah, and we would go there. They're like, what?
I frequented that place because my dad used to go to the TAB all the time.
Yes.
So we used to jump because when my dad jumped in the car with his TAB thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's going TAB. I'm gonna go to the music castle. So we jump in. Dad, can we come? Jump on. He'll give us like some coins. He'll go to TAB, well, we'll just go Brisbane Castle.
You stay there all day.
Stay there while he's playing.
Yeah.
And then he'll just come, let's go home. And, after my game.
Yes.
But it was Robocop. That was my favourite game.
Oh, no.
So, man, I was playing that hard out.
I think ours was, Gallagher.
The Space Invaders.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the game was a New Zealand story. It had a little Kiwi. Was it a Kiwi? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. Wow. And you had the other spacey parlour, the ice cream parlour. There was an ice cream shop.
Yeah, right. Yes, that's right. Yes, it was. And the first Hollywood bakery.
Yep, that's right. So you were in Video Channel.
Yes, yeah.
And the plastic.
Yeah, that was that was the first video shop we had out west. Yeah.
Oh man, those are days, man. But it's funny because that building that's still the same, man. It's still the same from when it first got built.
Yeah. Yes. When Pack and Save was there.
And the fruit shops, like after Moon Castle had their fruit shop's still there. Yeah. Man, I was sad when they took away Amusement Castle. Every time my dad went to AB, we went by himself because no use going up there.
Do you remember in Henderson where Red Rat is, you could go upstairs and there was Spacey Parlour there?
No.
There used to be the, where ASB, not ASB, I don't know what it is, but it used to be the bus station and you could get off there and there would be an upstairs Spacey Parlour.
Oh, no. Oh, I remember the one at the video store where the other end, close to the lights, there's that building on the corner before the bridge, before you go up to
yes. Yeah.
There used to be a dairy, but a video store at the back,
yes.
and there used to be games there.
Yes, yeah.
And the TAB used to be on the other side.
Yes.
Again, another place my dad goes. My dad will go to that TAB.
Yes.
We know where the spaces are. We'll go across the road.
Yes. Lucky you didn't have to wait in the car.
Yeah. But that strip.
It needs life, eh?
It needs life, man.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going that way when they made those the bridges on the other side.
Yeah.
How they put those poles.
Yeah. Make them attractive.
Yeah. That didn't last long.
Nah. I talked to some of the people along there, and so a lot of those shops are owned by people that don't even live in New Zealand, so they actually don't care what they look like, so they don't invest in making them in the maintenance or anything like that. Right. So that's another part of the issue is a lot of those shops along there aren't owned by the people that are running the business in them.
Oh man! So what? The Asians live in China?
I don't know. Yeah. So that's the other part of the issue is none of the landlords actually care because it's just money for them.
Oh damn! So maybe we should what do you call it? What do you call it when you make an area poor and you take over when it's cheap?
Oh, yeah.
You take over.
Oh yeah. When you bring and you bring the value down.
Yeah. Maybe we should do that. Reverse.
Well, the value can't be very high as it is.
It's not high?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
it can't be.
No, it can't be.
We're just stuck because they don't want to sell.
Yeah. And they're just making, to them it's just a shop that they own that they don't have to worry about and they still get income from it.
So we're trapped.
Well, there must be something, I don't know. Council must They must have the power to be able to make landlords a bit more accountable for, the upkeep of their stores.
Yeah, they can change.
Yeah.
You can change some
Bylaws or whatever.
bylaws,
Yeah.
for them to do that, and
Yeah.
then make it harder for them to to just not relax.
Yeah.
Come back down.
Yeah,
and
and actually invest
sort
in-
things out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's another good idea to put out there. We want to try and make Henderson
Yeah,
back to where it was again.
Yeah.
Sort of like when they decided to bust down the old Henderson Square and built the new mall. There was promise, a lot of promise when that got built, because that was the first kind of one of the Westfield malls, eh?
Yes.
It was,
it?
eh?
Yeah.
Because you had New Lynn
That's not a Westfield mall. That's AMPA.
now.
Yeah. It's never been a Westfield.
Oh, okay. So Westfield, I think Henderson was the first Westfield, eh?
Yeah, must have been. Yeah. Must have been.
Yeah. Then they did Manukau Mall.
Yeah.
And
Where's
then...
that from? Sylvia Park's not even a Westfield, is it?
No,
It's
that's
AMP.
MPA.
Yeah.
Because you can sort of tell with
St.
their
Luke's
style.
was Westfield.
Oh, St. Luke's, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe St. Luke's was the first Westfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they,
And then the other one on Albany was a big Westfield.
yeah. So, okay, so these are the problems. The owners of these shops, these stores, we can change that by changing the bylaws.
Yeah, that's all we get. I think you can. I don't know.
Nah.
You just got to make them a bit more accountable way for their...
Yeah. That's a good idea. What's another idea? What else can we do?
They so the shopkeepers are talking about just having more lights there, like it's quite, and you walk through or drive through, it's actually quite dark. One of them said the council thought they were doing a really good job by giving them rubbish bins, but then they lined their rubbish bins at the front. She's like, there's no, that doesn't look attractive to anyone. It's probably not big things that you have to change.
Yeah, because a lot of times are the little things.
Yeah.
Because what comes out of that is people take notice of these little things and give more respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Better decisions or what.
Yeah.
A better plans around. See, there should have been a better plan for their rubbish bin thing.
Yeah.
And the $1.5 million on that blue paint could have went into the poor ladies' lights in their car park.
Like lights all along that whole strip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if you put fairy lights up, or, for at night where it looks real cool, just the drive-through. People will come just to drive through for something like that. It wouldn't actually take much.
How about entertainment?
Yes.
And this is my sort of thing with the trust's monopoly on alcohol, but not just that, but their control over having bars in the establishments.
And the hours and the...
Yeah, because what it does is it stops competition.
Yeah.
It stops a guy with good ideas.
Yeah. Being able to do it.
Be able to come out west and make a nice place, a bar. That's better than a hangar. I
don't even go to the hangar.
There's a reason why you're not going, because of shit.
Do the headhunters still own it?
Do they?
I don't know.
But, it's like, it stops that kind of thing from happening.
Yeah.
And I think entertainment is a big draw.
I'm not really a bar person. I don't drink a lot.
But it doesn't have to be a bar.
No, I know. But I would like to go somewhere nice where I could take my family and have
some live music or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think because I think the movies at the mall is not enough. I think there has to be.
Do we still have movies? Are they still there?
Yeah. So that's why it's not enough.
No,
we need more. But my point to what I'm saying is I think to revitalize Henderson or anywhere to get people in, I think it's you need more entertainment.
Yeah. Things to attract.
Yeah. Attract people to come in. Even nice restaurants and that. Because the nice restaurants over in New Lynn and Northwest.
They're not that nice.
They're not that nice, but it's like some place
eateries.
Like with nice ambience, The people can say, "Oh, that's a nice place."
Yeah.
The food might be shit, but that's a nice place to sit down and relax.
That's what they wanted today with that lane, so that people could eat outside. So that they were going to put up tables.
Oh, in Catherine place.
Yeah.
So why did they do that?
Well, with all the traffic going through, I don't know if you'd
Right.
You mean in that strip? Yeah, you could do heaps there.
I mean, because if you go to the night markets underneath Kmart,
yep.
I mean that space not as big.
Yep.
That's probably the same size as it's Catherine Place, eh? Like you can put that in there.
Yes, you could
know?
easily.
You can have like a band play, a stage, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you come to our Matariki event?
no.
Oh, we shut off Catherine Street, where the...
Yeah.
And we put a band, we put a stage there, had live entertainment. They loved it. It was, but I see what you mean. Yeah.
More of that kind of stuff, to bring the
But,
community in. Something.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot during the summer.
Yeah.
Because you have music in the parks.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
I think Pass Park has a
Yeah.
free concert event
Yeah.
every year and stuff.
Waitangi Waititi, yeah.
Yeah. Because the school's next door, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, more of that.
Yeah. That's our event too.
Yeah. See, I think more of that kind of stuff.
Waipareira to take over the... No, you could do that on Great North Road. You just have to... People can drive around it. That's not a hard thing to do.
Yeah. So if they can think about some way to bring people in, I think.
You just got to talk to those businesses that are there. They've got some real good ideas that aren't, they're not talking...
What are some of them?
Well, there was the easier lighting they talked about, because they all talked about making it attractive again for new businesses to want to come as well.
Yep.
Doing up, they were like, we need our landlords to make our shops more attractive. We need better lighting. We need a place for rubbish. One of them was talking about having an information kiosk. She said because that's what a lot of them, where they come and sit there, they're just actually looking for information and support. You could have something like that there. They said that the council had provided, security to walk the streets at certain hours along there. I was like, you could get Māori Pacifica wardens, that are more engaging, have... their job isn't to patrol the streets, but to check on people. Are you okay? Where do you need to go? So you just need to ask these people what's going to work, and they'll give you answers. You don't need to come up with anything magical because they already know.
I guess it's a good sign with those families that are still there.
Yes.
Like that family's been there. North Cross family. That, they love the area.
Yeah, they're there for the long haul way. They're
Are they? When you talk to these people, are they like wanting more?
Yes,
for Henderson.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a good sign that they stay.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so fucking listen to them. You know what I mean? That's not. Yeah.
So how we have our different sort of takes on what's happening with Henderson, because we love Henderson and we see the problems. Is that a reflection on how the board's treated? How the local boards on the ground, with seeing all the people that live here and the businesses, and they're telling them their problems and that, and nothing's been done. Yes. Is that a reflection on how much power the local board doesn't have, and what that should change?
I think that does partly it. I think
because then the information goes to them and stops.
Yes, yeah. So I think the frustration is people don't actually understand how much local board authority they have, and they expect them to be able to save manage all our traffic. So I think that's part of it, but I think a big part of it is you don't come out and talk to us, and then when we do tell you something, you don't listen and you don't do something with it. So I think that's the other part of the frustration. Yeah.
You mentioned traffic.
Yeah.
So what on your observations, what have you seen with the traffic around out west or Henderson?
I hate driving on. We live in Glen Eden. I do take my kids to school, at Waitakere College. That could be anything from a 20-minute drive to an hour and 20-minute drive. And because we've always got roadworks, along Border Road, they've got all those roadworks going because they've got all those houses going up. I just think our infrastructure, our public transport infrastructure needs way more investment into it to make it actually work.
Yeah. That those roadworks,
we're always on roadworks.
And what's happening there with the roadworks?
Yeah, and then after a year of roadworks, I'm like, what difference did they make to the road? I don't know.
Because I see even in Glen Eden, the main shops had to put that red
they
red bump.
The blue with the red. Yes.
Like, man, the traffic is diabolical now through there.
Yes.
I tried to drive through there and it took a whole 2 minutes.
So we live on Wood Glen and we'll go, but there's traffic all the way from Glen Eden all the way down God, what's that? West Coast Road. Like, it's terrible in the morning. But that's what bright ideas do.
Because are you a big riding a bike fan? Are you big on riding bikes and that? There's all the bike lanes happening. And...
No, I used to ride bikes. I'm happy, but I'm quite happy to ride along the motorway, you know, where it's quite safe. No, I'm not a big bike rider. No.
Because that's been the difference, with a lot of what the AT are doing. Like with the bike lanes. That's been a real topical sort of thing that you hear on the news all the time. Like, with both sides.
Yeah.
Riding bikes, trying to promote health.
Yeah.
Health and well-being, like it's healthy to ride a bike and get exercise, and then you get the other side when you're ruining our roads. And cars can't get through, and all that stuff. Yeah. And there's no middle ground. I think this is how I feel when I see all this, and I experience it too because I work in town and I work close to K Road.
Oh yeah.
And what they've done on K Road, make it into 2 lanes.
Yes.
And they've got bike lanes on the other side.
Yeah.
And they've spent money on traffic lights for these bikes, like individual traffic lights for these bikes.
Why? In their own bike lane?
I mean, how much did that cost? But
what was the purpose?
So the pedestrians can press the button and now there's traffic lights for those bikes.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a small one. You got the main car ones, right?
Yeah,
the main ones.
Yeah, and there's a half one.
And then you got the bike lane.
Yes.
And on the other side, you got a small bike lane.
I'm going to have to drive to K Road just to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the first thing I thought was, okay, how much money did that cost? Because are you guys just spending money like nothing? Or
I think my frustration is like they talk about climate change, and I totally get that. But for some reason they think that having bike lanes is going to be a mass amount of people that are going to support climate change by suddenly getting on a bike and going, you know, not in their cars. I'm like, you know, families need to get places. Yeah, it's just...
You're going to carry your shopping.
Yeah. How are you going to drop your kids off on your bike? That's what I think.
I get the whole... So your kids can ride to school and be safe.
Yeah. I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah. And they will take some cars off the road because a lot of the cars are dropping kids off.
Yes.
And it's funny because when I was at school, we walk. Everyone walked.
Yes.
You know, no one dropped off.
Yeah.
I think we were too ashamed to get dropped off. You know, so we all caught there getting out of the car in front of the school. If you're with my mum and dad, dropping us off. But you know, times are changing. Kids are getting dropped off anyway. So I think that would take a lot of cars off the roads at that time. 3 o'clock.
I talked to this. She's 92. She lived in West Auckland in Tiaratu.
I'll move the. You
and,
can sit back. You can relax, but move the. You can move the. Yeah.
She's lived in West 90 years, and she was like, why can't kids just ride their bikes to school on the footpath from 8 till 9, and then from 3 to 4, and you know everyone knows that actually at that time was for the kids. Why do we need a separate lane? I was like, how easy and common sense is that? So I was like, that is not even scientific. That's just a common sense answer to a problem that someone should listen to.
On your social media, you've got
Oh, God.
There's a video of you talking about Lincoln Road.
Yes.
And the traffic, because that is like big time traffic jams, eh?
I think it's like, someone told me it was the 4th busiest road in New Zealand. Someone else told me it was the 2nd, so it's up there in terms of how busy in New Zealand.
Yeah. I probably won't disagree with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah, it's never not busy. Yeah.
Even on Saturdays.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just everyone taking their kids to games. But, you know, like, man, you know, weekends didn't used to have traffic jams, eh?
No.
Wow.
Because we had to walk and, yeah.
So what's the answer there?
Lincoln Road?
Yeah.
I don't know. So, I heard... So, I've been learning heaps. I actually have learned heaps, you know. So that's at a central government level now, but they've stopped it because there's not enough funding for it. But one of the solutions that they thought would take out the median strips. It's like, where are people going to turn into the other roads then? So it's on pause at the moment. Are they
going to make another lane or turn into a bike lane?
Yeah, no. And then when we heard that, I was like, so are you going to make another lane somewhere else though then? But I see all those new old people's homes. I don't mean to sound, like how that's hundreds of people on the roads again. I don't know. You're gonna have to do something with Lincoln Road. You need to invest in it. But it's on pause, so it's obviously not a priority.
And I seen. Have you been up to Whangapara?
Not lately, no.
If you go up there, if you go turn off, if you go Silverdale and keep going, and
yes,
you don't go the Owero, but you turn.
Yeah.
Go the other way.
Yes.
They've got this. They've got 3 lanes, but they've got these lights that run right through the road.
Yes.
And it changes to make the 1 lane into 2 lanes.
Oh.
For in the mornings.
For depending on how much traffic comes through.
Yeah. So
that sounds like a good solution.
So they have that, like on the Harbour Bridge when they move to make it more lanes to go in
one way.
One way. Then when cars are coming back home, they move that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that, but they have lights.
Oh.
And the lights just turn off and then turn on to make it for 2 lanes. But they've got these arrows up top, so drivers know that
which
2
one?
lanes are going forward.
Oh.
And X on this lane.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then in the mornings when people go into town, they swap.
Yeah.
So people can come down.
That's a good idea. See this?
So
it can't be that hard. It can't be that hard.
Well, because they did come up with that T2. There's T2 lanes as well in the past.
Yeah.
But did they actually work?
Well, I do take them. I don't think it alleviates the traffic much though, because you still got to congest into one wherever you're heading.
Yeah, so it doesn't go that far.
No.
Like the Tautu off ramp.
Yes.
If you go through Tautu, that T2 only starts right at the end. You know?
Yes. Yeah. What's the point then?
There should be one on Lincoln Road then. It starts way at the back. So you can just that's what you need to reward people that do carpool, incentivize some sort of stuff until we get our public transport system up and running. But you need to recognise people that actually we're trying to do the best thing here and incentivise it. In Australia, how they have those separate motorway to go express.
Yes,
you pay to go on there.
Yeah.
Like
people would do that.
There was talk of that.
Yeah, people would do that.
Mm.
But you got to fix our roads first. Shit.
But that's something that I think our current government, like they're pushing for the cycleways, and there's no talk on building new roads. And I know
how much is the road, the cycleway they want to put onto the Harbour Bridge? 800 million or something. It was like it's a huge amount of money. I'm like, why would you waste money on that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And who's gonna ride it?
Yeah, like
I heard them say, they can walk and ride. Walk. Who's gonna walk? People that live on both ends of
the bridge.
Oh yeah, because there's heaps of people that live on one end of the bridge and right at the foot of the bridge.
But they also don't take into account families don't have as much time as they used to these days.
And that's the thing. And that's you hit it on the nail right there. The key point is convenience and time. In the age we have Uber Eats.
Yes.
And we want things done fast and convenient. Riding a bike isn't convenient, man.
No.
I mean, riding a bike is you want to ride a bike because you want to get some exercise. If I want to go to A to B, I'll take my car.
Yes.
But it's that choice. But it's your choice. I mean, I would like to have a choice.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to.
Yeah. But bikes cost money. Oh, you know what? For your family, you got 4 kids sharing one bike. Like it's one of my mates, her partner is a twin, and she said for their birthday, one used to get the bike and one will get the helmet. Like, but that's the reality. But that's the reality of some of our families that we see. Like, you can't buy a bike. Oh, let's all get a bike and go for a bike ride. That's just not the reality for people, and they just don't have time. So, if people want to get well, then build more blooming leisure centres. Where we've got 2 out here. Like, invest in stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
Not a bike lane. Invest in building more, where people can go and swim or, whatever.
Because then all they're doing is catering for, what?
A certain demographic.
5% of people riding bikes? I mean, they do it because they want to.
And they'll do it anyway, whether there's a bike lane there or not.
Yeah. But you know when on K Road, because I hardly see any bikes.
Oh.
And when I do see a bike, they're not even using the lane; they're using the road.
Because they don't like the bike lanes, eh? Because then, yeah.
Because you know on K Road the bridge.
Yes.
Because the bike lane goes behind the bridge.
Oh.
No, the bike lane goes on the road, right?
Yes.
But then when it gets to the bridge, it goes around the bridge
Oh.
where people are walking. Because the footpath,
Yeah.
the footpath is split.
Yeah.
The bike lane and the footpath. But the bike lane comes on the road and then swerves at the back. But you know, bikes are not doing it because they're thinking it's dangerous.
Yeah.
They're jumping on the road and they didn't even go back on the bike lane. They just continue up on the road. And then they're using those traffic lights.
That sounds bizarre. I need to watch that.
Oh, next time you're on K Road, you look at those bike lanes
No,
and you see the bridge and you see the bike lane just go onto the footpath. I'm like, what?
I'm going to go to make a trip to K Road just for that.
Yeah, you should. And have a good laugh too. Cause, oh my gosh, man, what's going on? What's going on?
Yes. No.
So, talking to businesses, you went down K Road. What else? what else? Went down Lincoln Road. What else have you been looking at?
Oh, I guess I'm being real lucky that our work we do heaps in the community as it is. You know, so I'm just talking to people that I won't necessarily have talked to or have contact with. You know, it's real. Like we were in Ranui the other day. You know, like the level of investment into Ranui as opposed to a place like Te Ratu North, real like it's like the poor cousin, you know, forgotten about. So I was just like, what? And I know why, because they're very different looking communities. But yeah, I was just like, you need to put more money into Ranui. Te Ratu South is the same too, like that community centre's been there forever behind KFC. That's the only reason why people know about it. So I think our local board members need to really advocate equally for all different communities. There was a survey, and I only saw it through this campaign that went out where they were going to build a park for so kids with disabilities will be able to participate in playgrounds as well. And it was between Ranui or Te Ratu again. And I was like, well, Te Ratu's already got heaps of facilities. Why wouldn't you just automatically put it in Ranui? But it is going into Ranui. But I think that's because some of the members on the local board had really pushed for it, as opposed to others who didn't want it, who were happy for it to be in Te Ratu. So yeah, really probably learning more about how local politics works. Yeah, has been a real learning for me.
And surprising, somewhat.
Yeah. Because I'm like, we're talking like a ward here, people. You're not talking a mayoral campaign, you know. You're not talking central government here, but there's still politicking that goes on, and I get it, I understand it, but I'm just like, actually, you should just be worried about what the people that you're trying to represent are worried about. That should be your main concern.
That could be another problem, when you just said that, like the difference between national politics and local politics, and it gets mixed up.
Yes.
You know, they try to do what's good, or they've been here for so long.
Yes.
They try to step on step on other people's toes.
Yeah.
Wait on. Can you hold it back?
Yeah.
Pull it back. Your job is.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I was surprised by the amount of politicking that does go on at a local level.
Because it comes down. Because the other thing I want to talk to you about is the low turnout in voting, especially for local.
Yeah.
For local government, I think it's getting worse every time.
Every election period.
Every election period, it gets worse. I think I heard on the radio 8% people have already voted from all the things that went up.
Yes.
Last week.
Yeah.
And I think the last time was 16%.
At the same time last.
Yeah. And then after that, before that was 19%. So it's been coming. It's been bad anyway, but it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I think the obvious problem is how do we get people to vote? Because first you gotta get people to care, and that's one of the things. People don't care. Yeah. And is that what you see with voters? Or potential voters?
I think part of it is they don't understand what a local board does or what local. So you need to and in all honesty, before I started this, I didn't understand what they did either. So that's one of the issues, and then they also need to. My sister's never voted in her life. And the only reason she will vote is because I'm running. And so I said to her, what? She said, because I know someone, I know your background, and I connect with you. That's the only other reason that I would vote. So, and then I think, people, it's too hard to vote. Why would you go out of your way to do something? So there's a whole bunch of issues around why we have low turnout. But for me, I'll read the things. They send those big booklets out and you read them and you think, who are these people? And then you chuck it away.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mix of people don't see someone that resonates with them, and the other thing is they don't actually understand what a local board does, when actually it probably impacts a lot more on, local council in general impacts on their everyday life. So, yeah. So you need to make it sexy. You need to make voting sexy. I don't know, but relatable. They need to see, for me, it was seeing someone that looks like me, has my same experiences, has grown up in the area, knows the area. Yeah. I don't think there's one solution. I think it's a range of heaps of different types of solutions.
Yeah. Does the media play a big part? Because at the moment they're hard out showing the mayoral race, and
everyone thinks that's the big thing, eh?
Yeah. But there's levels to it, eh?
Yes.
And whereas that's what people see on TV and hear on the radio, people probably think they're directly connected to straight to the top, but they don't understand that there's layers to it. You got to go through the local board first, and that's why they don't understand, because they come across a thing called local board and go, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that on TV.
Yeah, and I get it.
So maybe it's up to the mayor or the candidates going for that top position to actually put on blast their staff or that structure, eh?
Yeah. It's unless you're looking for it, it's actually not easy to find the structure of the council. You know what and who can make decisions around what you have to spend time trying to do that. And if you're not interested in it, then how you ain't gonna go looking for it.
Because at that level, also they probably feel that they will make a difference.
Away, yeah.
It's so far away. Yeah, exactly. Like, well, my vote won't.
Yeah.
My vote won't count for anything. So why should I care?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's, man. Maybe they should educate the kids.
Yeah. Well.
Or schools and that. Schools should.
It should be. Should definitely be part of educating kids. Mind through this. Well, how old are they? 13.
But at least it's informers. Because you know how I said I was at history class?
Yes.
And I learned about Elizabeth the First. Like, I didn't know how they structured their...
Yeah.
Back in those days,
yes.
when I didn't even know my own
Yeah.
local structure, council thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but, it's like, you got to be careful around kids, I guess, because... Do you believe in 16-year-olds voting? 16-year-olds? Because that was the thing that keeps on coming up as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that, eh?
You don't?
No. Because my argument is a 16-year-old problem doesn't have the same problems as a 40-year-old of kids in a family. Like, has to work to put the food on the table, put a roof over their heads. Those problems aren't the same. 16-year-old.
Yeah.
And I think, but what I think is that I think it's a political thing, because I think young people are more aligned with the left. Yeah. In a way where they're like compassionate about, they feel for the environment and, and poor people and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, it's more aligned to the left sort of thing. Yeah. So until they grow up and they might see how hard life is and how they overcome stuff, and then they might change their thinking sort of thing. So I think that's the danger of.
Couldn't you say the same for 18-year-olds?
Isn't that 18 or is it 21?
No, it's 18.
Oh yeah.
But they're not. you know, their life experience probably not the same as a 40-year-old either.
I think the left will get more votes for 16-year-olds.
I get what you're saying. I take it back to my 16-year-old. Through this, she's been real interested. Actually, they all have because they've been forced to. But her sister is 18 and was able to vote. So she read all the voting. She read all the candidate things. She did a summary of all these people for notes for her sister. And she was real clear on what she was looking for in someone to vote for. So maybe it's that you have to have a lot of education before they're 16 for them to be able to, you know, understand the decision that they're making. But if she was voting, then I'm happy for a 16-year-old to vote. But she's done due diligence, eh? But then we all should do due diligence, not just 16-year-olds, but everyone.
And you probably they won't vote either for the local government either, 16-year-olds.
Or they might.
Yeah, they might. Oh, yeah, because they're educated, right?
Well,
they'll get more educated into what goes on.
Yeah, if you have all that education before them.
Yeah, or at least how things are done.
Yes.
In New Zealand.
Yeah.
Politically. Yeah. Man, that's because I hope because I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote.
Oh, have you not voted yet?
You know why I didn't vote last time?
Why?
Because I had the problem. I came in the mail. Oh, yep. And it just sat there on the table and I forgot. And then it was too late.
Yeah, well, everyone has that though. Like, oh, was I meant to post it? Oh, it's too late now. Yes.
Yeah. So, my bad. But see, like you said, a lot of people have that problem.
Yeah.
So that's why there's another reason why there's a low turnout.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in your campaign, what else have you been looking at? We talked about traffic, businesses.
What else have we been looking at? Gosh, what do you call it? Intensification of housing.
Right.
Public transport. Yeah, heaps of different. So every community is different. And like Te Two North, their issue is just getting in and out of Te Two traffic again. Rānui, again, very, very different types of... So part of it is also looking at and understanding the different needs in different areas and what people perceive that they need in their area. I'm very much... go talk to the people that it's impacted the most because they actually have the most insight and they have the best solutions to that. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Going to talk to people, understanding things. But that's part of my work anyway, so, yeah.
You know, with the housing intensification thing,
Yes.
like, are you happy with what's going on with...
No. Why rich areas not getting more houses than we are?
That's what's happening, eh?
Yes.
Hey.
So my thing is, well, what are our councillors doing that... I think Shane Henderson, and all fairness to him, was the only one that opposed it, of the 14 that voted. Some of them didn't vote. But yeah, so you got to have more say at that table.
Because there's a lot of houses, especially out west, especially in Rānui, that are getting sold and then someone's buying it and building 3 townhouses in this place.
Yeah.
You know, and that intensifies the streets out there.
Yeah.
And what's happening is a lot of cars are being parked on the roads because no one has one car anymore.
No, I don't know why they think they do.
And then what happens is that you get all these cars parked on the street. How's a fire truck going to get through when there's a fire?
Do you know Wood Glen Road, where Don Oliver's used to be?
Glen Road.
Wood Glen.
Oh, Wood Glen.
Yeah, so that's where, anyway, there's a roundabout where, so you can go one way to Glen Ora and down that way to West Coast Road.
Yeah.
So there was a house there, one house, and they're literally building 7 to 8, you know, I think they might be 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. But so it's right in the corner. There's no, I don't know where people are going to park that are living in those...
corner of the roundabout?
Yeah, like the roundabout, and it was right there, and that's where it's...
Oh, shit.
Like, why would you... Yeah, it's crazy. But the council's obviously approved that, so yeah.
That's part of the unitary plan?
Yeah. Yeah, like, but still, be common sense about it.
Because that's another decision that's kind of like you think, dumb idiots, because... but we get the reasons.
Yes, yeah. It's
but the
just
execution of it is
the
not...
application of it is
not right, eh?
Yeah.
Like, we need more houses.
Yes. Yeah, we understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
But why do they all have to be in certain areas that got no infrastructure in them in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. And why can't they open more land up?
Yes. And why can't they give them, if they're going to put them in our areas, then give us more of the budget to get that infrastructure in.
So, in these rich areas, they're not going to open there. Wow.
So that's the mayor and all those around the table that make those decisions.
Sad guys. Sad guys. Wow.
So, yeah.
But that all that does is keep the value up, right?
Yes.
Right.
And it just makes us more congested in our little areas. With our 2 stupid leisure centres. Sorry, I'll keep going on about those. But yeah.
Because you know what? I think it's time we should bust down all those villas. Do you think? They're old, man. This is the future.
They're historic. What do they call them now? They've
They've got
made
the
them.
heritage.
Yeah.
No, we should get rid of them,
Wow.
and build just apartments.
Or just little bits of land next to them. Build 10.
And then they should pick one up, get a bungalow, get a villa, put it in the museum. There you go. There's your heritage.
Yes.
Because we talk about decolonization. That's decolonization. That's the.
Oh, there's so many different layers. Yeah.
See, we're actually putting that. Let's put their stuff. Let's put their shit in the museum for once, eh? Hey, can we put their shit in the museum?
Yes.
Why do we have to protect their shit now?
Yeah, I know.
Out
and
on the
we
land.
get that, yeah.
Out on the land.
No, and we get the repercussions of those decisions. Yes.
Oh, now
Yes.
I understanding decolonization now. Wow. That's the first thing they should do. Take those villas out of Ponsonby. Build high-rise apartments.
Devonport. Oh.
Because you know what happens, right? If they're talking about getting the city populated again, because no one goes to the
No one wants to go to the city.
Only tourists, looks like. Only tourists go there now. But, locals don't want to go there. You intensify the outskirts, right? You intensify Ponsonby, Whānau, Newton.
Yeah, they just become their own little area. Stay in there.
But that's what you do. You bust everything down. You build multiple
High-rise.
apartment buildings, populate these places, then they can have the city.
Yes.
And they can use the trains that are going around, And if they'll get more people in there. And leave the suburbs for a backyard. Because everyone wants a backyard.
Yes, no one wants,
So 20 years from now, there's going to be no more backyards.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
That's a bit extreme what I'm saying, but it can work.
Yeah, I just thought you just took out one house on a corner and you've put all those in. There's nowhere for them to park. Like it's, but times 100, times 1,000 everywhere else.
So not only are you running for the local board, you're also running for the
Portage
Trust.
Yes.
And so what's the process there? Is it the same?
So I thought, again, learning, there's different wards, again, for each trust. So for a local board, you can run for a local board that you don't live in, but for a licensing trust, you have to live in the area to be able to run for it. So I initially was going to run for Waitakere Licensing Trust, but obviously couldn't because I don't live in the area. So then Portage is split up into, I don't know how many wards. So I'm only in the Glen Eden ward. And there's 3 of us that are running for 2 positions. So yeah, it's the same. You're on the papers and you get ticked, and that's how you get in.
And what job is that when you get into that board? What job is it? Because if the local boards your
parks and stuff like that.
Your parks and stuff like that, and you talk to the councillor.
Yes.
What is the?
So you make decisions on where their funding goes to, what community groups it goes to.
Right.
And I think you give feedback on. What would you give feedback on? Pokies? I don't know.
So being part of them, if you get elected to get in the Portage Road.
Yes.
So does everything get transparent?
No.
Get
transparent.
I
don't know. Because from people that have sat on it.
Do you have to sign a thing saying
you
can't tell anybody?
Non-disclosure agreement.
You can't tell our secrets.
Yeah.
Sign.
No, I still think it's not that transparent. Be interesting to find out.
Yeah. Because you're an advocate for them. Trust having a
monopoly? A
monopoly, yeah.
I don't know if it's the monopoly. I'm an advocate for there being some control measures in place so that not anyone and everyone can just set up liquor and pokies machines where they want. That's probably what what I don't want to see happen is that anyone and everyone can just do what they want. That's probably why I do like the trust model. The whole reinvesting back into the community, yes, I think is great, but I want to know how much do you make and then how much do you reinvest back into the community. And who makes those decisions? Because I see some schools get $400 and then I see other schools get, I'm like, $400?
Really?
What a waste of time. Like the administration costs and, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, because I don't agree with the monopoly. I feel like
Open up the market.
I think we should have competition because I think out west we struggle with entertainment.
Yeah.
I talked about entertainment before, but
Yeah.
I think a big part of entertainment
Yeah.
is getting new ideas in, getting people in to invest in establishments that can provide entertainment for the community. And I feel like Henderson or West Auckland has an opportunity to have an identity different to the rest of Auckland. Like I think we already have with the trust being here, not selling liquor in the supermarkets and the trust having control of that. But because of their lack of ideas and their lack of sort of innovation, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And there's no really good place to go in West Auckland. You get your places here and there, but not
many.
Not many. And I feel like you got to go out.
More of them.
You got to go to Central to go to have fun, or not have fun, but go to a nice place and like outdoor eateries.
Yeah.
Or, I know we got our little things like New Lynn. We've got those places there, but
they're not entertainment.
Yeah, but is that all? Is that all?
Yeah.
I feel like Henderson has the opportunity, or West Auckland has the opportunity to have more of a culture, because we can be different to the West of Auckland.
Yeah.
We can be.
Well, we are already.
We are already, but we can do better. And I feel like we can be that music kind of hub. We can encourage local acts, local bands, and local talent. But these bands, these local talent, if we're talking about entertainment, they need places to perform, to play. And if we get places where they can come and perform, like Hang Bar, that's a waste. Because, if they can open up and have live music there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Why don't they do that
That'd be
there?
so cool. Even if it's jazz, nice jazzy place.
But why don't they do that there currently?
Ask the trust. They're the ones that...
Since they've got a liquor license though, but does that stop the entertainment on it?
But then the trust owns them, don't they?
Do they? I don't know. See? That's how naive I am. I don't know.
So what I've heard is that trust used to own Black Salt.
He didn't just sorry, I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, they give out the
the license for it. Yeah.
I think they've got rid of Black Salt. Black Salt's independently owned, but they still have to get a license.
Yeah, you still have to get a license from the trust. Yeah.
And if you are to open a restaurant, if you are to open a place where you sell alcohol, you need to get a license from the trust. But I think the rule is you need to serve food.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that because of those restrictions, not restrictions, but just because the trust has that kind of control and nowhere else in Auckland has that sort of thing, it scares business owners away from West Auckland.
Setting up. If you were to reduce some of the trust powers, what would that look like?
I think they can control certain parts of alcohol. Like if they want to just control the amount how many liquor stores there are, they can.
That's different. Yeah.
I think they can. Because I think they've already brought in Liquorland.
No, they own it though.
They do they? The one in Te Whānau.
They own it. It's just got it's franchise. Liquorland's the franchise, and they bought it.
But they have still the same prices.
Yeah.
Liquorland prices, so it's competitive.
Well, are they the same as West? Well, they're still making the money off it anyway.
But that alcohol is a little bit more expensive than the rest of Auckland, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a. I guess my thing is I don't. There is areas I think the trust can have less say over. I just don't want to see it where anyone can open up in Glen in particular, we've only got one there, or we've got the Raza. We used to have the Glen. And just that little pocket of where they sell alcohol there is really hard to manage as it is. So if you were able to have little pockets of that everywhere in Glen Eden, then that's what I don't want to see.
Yeah. Because that was the thing with South Auckland, having liquor stores every corner.
They are so bad. Like, yeah. But
that's isn't that an educational thing too? Like, there's incentive for those shops to be there because people want them there, or are they just putting them there on purpose?
oh, well,
I mean, that's the thing.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Because Geo, there's so many liquor stores around here.
Yeah. But it comes back to competition too.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
And man, I've seen the price.
Have you seen GI prices? No, they're the lowest ever. No, that's why we used to go there as a kids. We'll just drive to GI because there was so much. Yeah.
Honest.
Well, that was when I was growing up.
Oh wow.
Like $1 cheaper than anywhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know what prices are everywhere else. I don't really buy a lot of alcohol, but
But that's the thing, like, one thing, if the trust is doing all this with the monopoly, then what's worse is the duopoly with the supermarkets.
Yeah.
I mean, they're way worse.
Yeah.
Because those prices, man. I'm glad Costco's there. Have you had...
No, I haven't been
there?
yet. No, I haven't been
Have you got
yet.
a card?
I haven't even picked up my card.
We probably signed for it. Yeah, I'm waiting for the hype to go down.
Yeah, same. And then
Maybe a few weeks or a few months. I don't know.
And then you can walk around.
Yeah, but it seems cheap. It seems, because I read in the paper, like, they did a breakdown and how cheap things are. Of course, you got to buy in bulk.
Yes.
So you're still spending money, like,
But it's for bigger
stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the savings are in, like, might be $1 saving or 20-cent saving.
Yeah.
Per item.
Yeah.
So it is cheaper. But you got to buy in bulk. So there's things to consider, like, you don't want things to go off.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
It's the storage, especially the meat.
Oh, well, how and bulk? What does that mean?
Well, I heard you can buy bulk meat.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's all fresh. But then it's high-end stuff too. So, because it's funny because I had Kat. They went, her and Ben went to Costco and they were taking photos of the prices and they were sending it to our family chat. And I think they found a ham, 2 kilo ham for $200.
Holy heck! How much is a ham normally?
But it was like top of the line ham. And apparently some chef in Australia that knows Ben said, "Oh man, that ham that is so cheap because that is the top of the line ham. It's a melt in your mouth ham."
Who would know that? That goes to. I would just be like, "That's $200 ham. Why?"
The taste, I think. But I think there's a whole lot of top end stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like they sell Rolexes there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
They sell coffins too, I heard, eh?
Yeah. But it'll be cheaper than the coffins you get at the...
But then who's going to put the body in the coffin?
Urns and that. $2 hot dogs, $2 pizzas. But I think that's good because it's going to be good because, Pack and Save's there.
Yeah.
And Countdown. They're going to be suffering there.
Yeah.
And that's
need
good.
to bring your prices down.
And that's good.
I can't believe we pay $6-7 for a blooming butter. Ridiculous.
Oh, you know what? We have to get the unsalted butter, and that's like $8.
What?
Yeah.
$8
Yeah.
for butter?
Yeah.
We make it here, like.
But we give it away.
Yeah, I know.
We export it. And it's gonna get worse because our dollar's down. So we're gonna export much more now, and get all the leftovers.
And pay $10 for a pound of butter.
Yeah. But man, it's crazy the grocery prices, because you go to Pack and Save. You go to Pack and Save even.
Yeah, I know.
Which is known to be cheap.
Yeah, it's real expensive.
Man, look, it's like over $100, and my trolley's not even full.
Yeah,
You
got 10 items. Yes.
And we just no one complains, eh? Oh, they complain, but nothing gets done because there's duopoly here.
Yes, I thought they did a what are they? When they oh God, who's the people consumer? Is it the consumers that they've got to do an investigation into price fixing? I thought they did one on Pick and Save and Countdown. Well, food stuff and who was it? Progressive Aim.
Yeah, food stuff.
Or am I thinking of the petrol? That needs to happen as well.
Well, the petrol's $2.40 at Costco.
Oh, okay. So that's their loan is a reason to get a Costco card.
Yeah. Just fill up, eh? And that's your $60. Because you got to pay $60 a year for that card.
For the membership.
Yeah. Then you got to figure you got to make up for it. So I don't know how many times you got to shop there to make up to make your money back.
Well, petrol alone, you'd be able to do it.
True, eh? Yeah. $2.40. I hate to wait in that line. Imagine waiting in that line for the petrol.
You'd run out of a tank of petrol. Yes.
So man, now it's good. We identified all these problems in West, right? In Henderson-Massey, right? Traffic. Henderson needs upgrade.
Yes, it does for Henderson.
Our cost of living, housing.
Yes.
But you think that of all these new houses out west, the price will come down? Or drop the value, definitely, yeah.
House prices have come down. I don't know if they're affordable is the question, but they have come down.
And if the question is if you want to live in those kind of townhouses, yeah.
Yeah.
And park your car on the road.
Yeah.
Your free cars on the road.
Yes. I was talking, we got a rōpūkau mātua, at work, and so not end of life problems, but when they're trying to find their own accommodations because they still want to be independent, and in Glen Eden we've got someone there. One of them was like, no, I don't want to live there. I want to live at the ones on Lincoln Road. And I was like, why? She said because she can't have a car in Glen Eden because there's no so if you move in there you're not allowed to have a car because there's no parking for it.
You're talking about the big apartment building?
Yes.
The railway
No. So those are different. There's another one. La Rosa restaurant is there, and they've just put up a I think it's about 4-story maybe. Yeah.
Next to it.
Yes. Yeah. So that's
no
for
cars.
yeah. So you're not allowed cars, but for old people, having a car is their last bastion of independence for them. So it's like, who talks to these people when they design stuff like that? Like, I just thought that's dumb. So their assumption is they're all going to walk up the hill and get on a train to go anywhere that they want to. But
Right.
These are old people. They're not going to... Some will, but a lot of them won't. They'll keep their cars. So,
Yeah, those new apartments there and Glen. There's that one in Henderson at the top of...
Yeah.
Corner of Swanson and Lincoln. Do you know about that?
The one by Buscombe? By the old... Where the police station is? That one?
Yeah. Did you know anything about that building?
Nah. I don't know who owns it or... But is that a penthouse at the top of it?
It looks like it.
It looks like it. I was like, what? Yeah.
But then, those big windows.
Yes.
That's an odd...
a view.
View, eh? Like right in the corner there.
Actually, someone told me that was going to be around 4 or 5 million, that penthouse.
Really?
I don't know if that's true, but I was like, but what are they looking at?
Because that's a weird place to have an apartment. Because when you come down, where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Walk all the way down the hill?
To catch a train. Or go to the bus stop. I don't know.
But even from there, from the top there, and if you look on that side of the road, all the way down to the bridge at the bottom.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's where they could go to catch a train.
There's a lot of construction happening.
Yeah.
Well, those buildings look like they're going to be
torn down.
Yeah. And what's going to be in this place?
Maybe.
More apartments?
I don't know, maybe. It's right by a train station. Don't know.
There's a lot of changes happening around there.
And don't know if they're always for the good.
Is there anything else you've learnt from this journey of yours, campaigning and that you thought was interesting, that you learned about our city, about the city?
When I it's like politicking, it's actually relationships, and who you make relationships with, and why you make relationships. So I've learned that people have totally different types of relationships that I think, holy heck, all to progress this little political career thing that they've got going on, and I just think that's really
because that's got nothing to do with the people, eh?
No, exactly. Yeah, it's actually about a career. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably been the biggest lesson that I've learned.
And is that you've seen this in the local level, the local board level?
So imagine what it's like at the next levels up. Crazy.
Yeah, that's when you have to one day.
Well, yeah, and the machinery behind big parties has been interesting to observe, and I've probably only seen a little slice of it. If you had like the mayoral campaign and other stuff, that I assume the machinery behind them will be huge.
Because my thing is about is always about an incentive. Every time a new decision gets made, like why is that?
Yes.
Why did they make that decision for? What's your agenda?
Yeah.
Do you have a personal agenda, or do you have something?
Who, me?
No, anyone that's made any
Yeah.
decision or anything.
Yeah.
And when stupid things come up,
Yep.
that's when you wonder,
Yeah.
like the
Yes,
whole
how
blue,
did that work? Yeah,
like the blue paint on the, how's it working that? And does anyone get a say?
Yeah.
Because I think what happens when things happen and people are angered about it, and because a good example is that blue paint.
Yeah.
Because man, a lot of the community had an uproar.
So the Norcross, Grant, I think. Oh, I keep forgetting. How terrible is it? I think his name's Grant. He was one of the big organisers of that, in terms of that strip there, of that protest. And even now, for a lot of them, that's still like a sell point. And most of it is, no one came to talk to us, no one, that's the actual issue.
Yeah. And that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's so dangerous.
Yeah.
And that might be the catalyst to make people vote too.
Yeah. Yeah.
When things go wrong and
Yeah.
you go, what happened?
Yeah.
Oh man, I better vote then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Make people care.
Yeah. New Plymouth District Council, some of their, I think they're real clever, some of their, what I've seen on social media, how they promote it. So they've got bogan-looking people saying things like, Sue thinks COVID is a hoax, or something like that. Sue's going to vote. Are you going to vote too, or something? It's a real... I thought that's real clever. I like those ones. Just saying, if people like that are voting, then you'll be an idiot not to have your say.
Shucks.
Yeah, I thought very good. New Plymouth District Council. out something different.
So you got any signs out and about?
Yeah. Big things.
Yeah. So you had to go do it yourself.
Well, I was lucky that we had some hoarding boards from before, so I just had to put things on them.
Right. And you got to take it down on voting day, or
the Friday. Yeah, I think midnight of the Friday.
Wow,
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I don't know if excited is the. It is what it is at the end of the day. Like when we decided to run, John he said something like, "Oh, you're probably not going to get in your first time, but you're going to learn a lot along the way, and we're going to have a few laughs." And then he goes, "Oh, you might not laugh, but we're going to laugh." So I've just taken it as something to learn something new, and I have, and I do like to do things outside my comfort zone. This is very much outside my comfort zone. So yeah, it's been everyone's like, why would you do something like that? And the more that I've on this journey thought, shit, we actually need people at these local levels that know what's happening on the ground. So I would like to get in, before I was like, oh, I'm going to learn something. And now that it's near the end, I thought, I would really like to get in just to see how things work and just make people more accountable for the decisions that are made and what informs those decisions. And I want to see someone that looks like me on something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know Will Flavel. He's been there, so he's running again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk to him much?
I met him at our candidate evenings. That's the first time I've ever met him. Very passionate about young people, which is good.
'Cause he used to be a TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there any way where you're polling and stuff? Or is it not something anyone does?
So there's a daily tally that they do for each local board, so you can find out how many people have voted at the
Already?
end of each day. Yeah.
Oh.
I think yesterday, we're at 11%. Last election, I think we hit the 32% of all. We had the third lowest turnout. So,
Man. So, you're the only one from your work that's going for... okay.
Yeah.
So you got all the votes. Definitely.
Well, if they live in the area, if they don't, they don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how far is the reach?
Te Ratu North, Te Ratu South, Massey, parts of Massey, Westgate, or Northwest is not, I don't think that's part of it. Henderson and bits of Sunnyvale, but not past Park, and bits of Kelston. No, not even Kelston. I think,
Right.
yeah.
Right. You grew up in Massey. Well, what's happening in that area, like
In Massey?
that you've seen that would like you would like to?
I went to Massey the other week, actually. It's still, like, I don't feel like there's been any investment into that at all. Like, I went to the old Chorley, I think it's called Lincoln Heights Super now. It used to be called Chorley Ave Shops back when we used to go there. But it's like, I don't know, like, there's not been any investment. Like, Northwest have got a lot of it, but not actual Massey itself. Royal Heights, back in the day, that used to be
The hub, eh?
Yeah. And you had to go, they had the supermarket there. Glen Eden actually was 3 guys. We're in the way back in the day. But, and we went there for vaccination stuff. We did heaps of vaccination stuff around that area. And it's just real depressing, like. And so I think Moya Park has just got a big new playground. But it's more than playgrounds, eh? You need to invest and support those women, small businesses that are there.
Because that's at the back of West Harbour, eh? And
So I know that area is Royal Heights, and then down that road is West Harbour.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is now, but yeah.
because I think because Massey has a funny topography.
Yes.
Because there's that sort of like valley at the bottom of Triangle Road, and it just sort of slopes all the way up to Massey High.
Yeah.
And so all these houses are in odd positions, eh? They get nice views. Yeah. If they use these heights. Yeah. But then you got the ridge up top where Dombuck Road is, and then it goes back down again. So it's a funny topography, eh?
And then in the middle was Eden Maria stuff was like this. Yeah. There's something.
So it's up and down. Yeah. It's similar to the Rangi, eh?
To the where?
To the Rangi, how it goes up and down.
Yeah.
So it's probably hard to. Do you think it's because of that? It's hard to get the community to come together?
Well, I heard it referred to, but only through this campaign period, as Massey East, Massey South, Massey West, and I'd never heard of any of that before. I was like, so whether they view themselves as those little areas, I don't know. People at work that live in Royal Heights, they're very clearly Royal Heights is their area. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, what was your question?
Royal Heights don't consider themselves Massey, do they?
Well, they are though. Well, back in the day, they used to be. Yeah. I think they're Massey East.
Right.
I don't know. It's all Massey. It used to just be Massey to me. We used to live off Triangle Road, but
No, I'm just hearing what you're saying about how do we invest in Massey? How do we get that community? To be one, or
I don't know if you can get it to be one, but you can bring up different parts of Massey to be. We lived in Doom Place, but we used to have the Western Lights. Back then was the pub, and I would never have considered Royal Heights my hood. You know what I mean? But Triangle Road, or that space that I would have. So I probably assume that's how they still think of themselves now. So I don't know if you could bring Massey together as one Massey area, but you could invest in the little pockets that they've already got. And a lot of it's around different schools. The community is around a school area.
And I was just saying how because it's a hill and a bridge and a valley, it's hard to get people together because of that. Because of where it is.
Yes. So Colwall back in the day was still Massey, but I would never ever. They were like people far off from us back then.
That's right, because that's the other side of the motorway.
Yes, Colwall Primary or whatever. Yeah.
So it's almost like it's another suburb, eh?
Yes, but it's not.
It's included in Massey. That motorway just cuts right through.
So yeah.
And then it sort of cuts off at Westgate.
Yeah. But they're all real different again, though, eh? Royal Heights very different to other areas of Massey, to the Dombuck end.
Well, that's why they split had Massey East, Massey West.
Yeah,
because of that.
I didn't. First time I had heard about it when I was campaigning, I was like, "What? Isn't it just Massey?"
Yeah. So you got this weekend. You got next week. Well, what are your plans? Are you doing talks and that, doing speeches and?
I've done. You mean too? Like I've done. Yeah, go and talk to different groups. We've done heaps on social media. Like that's been. But it's real. So with campaign. To get everyone does it. You can pay boost your on Facebook. You boost your content. But since the Trump election, it's real hard to get authorised to boost stuff. It's quite interesting. Yeah.
So the algorithm picks up that you're doing elections.
So you have to pick that you're either a social, political, whatever, and it picks it up real quickly if you declare that you're not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's real.
So do they just charge you extra?
No, you're not allowed to do it at all.
Oh, really? Right. Oh, because of the whole Trump thing.
Yes. Yeah. Like in September 1st, they've been even more rigid on Facebook, which is Instagram. So,
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I think, I've just been doing heaps of lives with different people in the community, asking them questions or they ask me questions. Been talking to different groups, just getting out there.
You know, when you do your lives, are you doing it live so people can see your followers?
Yeah, and ask questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, ask questions too.
Yeah.
Is that doing on Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
Oh, okay. So, what have you learned through social media? Like, have you always been a social media person?
Part of my role at Waipareira is comms.
Okay. So you have to, it's part of...
Yes. I don't do, I have been now, but just trying to, comms has been a big part of this in terms of social media. So I have had to do it, heaps.
And you learned about the boosting.
Well, we boost for Waipareira anyway,
Oh, yeah.
But
it doesn't pick up.
it's not a political thing.
Yeah.
It's a community group.
What if there's a way you can get around it, like not say anything political?
Oh, but everything's political these days, though.
Shit.
You know what I mean? Talk decolonisation, and it's political. Everything's political.
Yeah.
Yes, so social media is, TikTok is another thing altogether. So, my kids are like, I'm never watching you on TikTok. You're cringe, mum.
Oh, yeah. Well, so other platforms, they allow it? Or no? TikTok? Because that's different, eh? TikTok is different.
Yeah, different. So
you can go on there and do...
I don't know. We've never boosted on there.
Right.
But heaps like...
But you only get the kids.
Well, heaps of adults on it too.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So.
But the ones that care about local elections?
Well, I did one on my one of my hoarding boards getting graffiti on it. And just some of the comments were like, oh, kids don't care anymore and disrespectful. I was like, oh, okay. So people, I don't know who that was, but people were watching it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, it's cool that you came on this podcast to talk about all this, because this is going to go on these platforms.
Yeah.
So that's probably the loophole then. I'll put this on Facebook and see what happens there. Yeah, it should be okay.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's just the bit when you try to boost something that it's...
Oh, the boost. Oh, okay.
Because you're paying for an ad then.
Yeah. Because I learned that ever since the boost thing came out on Facebook purposely doesn't let your content go out there, so they rely on you to boost it.
Yeah.
They do that purposely.
Yeah, because they're going to make money off it.
Fuck. Assholes.
But and if you're rich and you can boost, then you can reach millions and millions of people. Millions. Yeah.
But that's sad, eh?
Yeah, so if you're wealthy, then easy as. Yeah.
Gotta find another platform.
Well, they own Instagram too, so it's the same.
Oh, yeah. They do own Instagram.
Yes, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so what are you going to do the next week before...
what have I got on? So I'm still working, through all of this as well.
Oh, working full time?
Yeah. So a lot of it is at work. After work. I don't know, I think I've got about 3 or 4 lives lined up with people.
Who you got? Who you got coming up?
I think we've got Mike Puru on Tuesday.
Who's that?
He's on DJ on Mayfair, maybe?
Oh, okay.
Thursday, I think we may have Stacey Morrison.
Right.
But I know her through work. Last week I had, last Thursday I talked to, she's my trainer, but they've grown up out, lived in West forever. She's 60-something, and she used to, if you lived in Henderson, and she's quite a muscly lady, will walk around, everyone knows her. So we had her on, she lives in Glen Eden, and then on the Tuesday we had people who work with young people. I talked to Hadley from Zeal on last week, so we're going to post him on Tuesday.
Pacifica.
Yeah. Who else? Yeah, so I can't remember what's now. I know I've got to do a lot next week. I just can't remember what it is, as well as work. So,
Busy.
Everyone's busy though.
Yeah. And after hours too, eh?
Yes. Yeah. But it's the holidays, which I don't have to drop my kids off in the morning, which is...
Oh, that's cool, is it?
Yes.
Forgot about that.
So I've got to teach my daughter. She's got a fucking restricted license thing in a couple of weeks, so we're trying to teach her to drive too.
Oh, yeah. On top of everything else.
And a manual. So.
Oh, really? You got one?
Yeah.
It's hard to find one these days.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find one.
It's a late, 2016. But yeah, I like manuals.
Yeah, I like them too. Yeah, because when I bought my last car, I was trying to look for one.
Yeah.
Man, it was hard to find one.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, stuff it. I'll just get this.
Yeah. The guy that I bought it off, he lives in, his kids go to Waitaki actually, but he brings them in rain damage from Australia.
Rain damage?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
and then he fixes them, and he wasn't sure whether he was going to be able to sell a manual.
All right. Because
no one knows how to drive them anymore.
The generation, eh?
Yeah.
It's funny because at my work we have the double parking.
Ah, yes.
And there was one guy that had a manual.
And no one could move his car.
No one could move his car. And I had to move it all the time. Fuck. No one could move it. What? Shit.
She's not too. She doesn't bunny hop anymore. But I said to her, if you can drive a manual, doesn't matter what sort of car you get in, truck, you can drive whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Hill starts next. Let's try those.
Jacqui, man, thanks for coming on there.
No, thank you for having me. Just talking and yeah.
Yeah, it's just a nice chat on a Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon.
And everything. Yeah.
Waiting for the grand final tomorrow.
Oh yeah, who are you going for? I know you're Warriors, but were you following the final series? Because Warriors are out of it ages ago. Did you have a second team?
Yeah, it wouldn't have been any of those two.
Are you Queensland or New South Wales?
Queensland. Have always been Queensland from. What are you? New South Wales.
New South.
Yeah, like Troy and all his mates. Those fellas that get messy, they're all New South Wales.
Oh yeah. So what's your prediction? Panthers or Eels?
Panthers.
Yeah, I got Panthers.
Yeah.
I think their halves are too much, eh?
I reckon they'll be again.
Ivan Cleary is like too much. Oh no, I'm looking forward to the World Cup.
Yes.
Man, that starts I think next week, eh?
Does it?
Or a couple of weeks. I know it's in October, middle of October.
Oh. Yes. One of my daughters went to school with Tiana. Oh God, what's her last name? But she plays for Australia.
Oh right.
So yes. No.
Oh, is that the Women's World Cup?
Yeah.
Over here, eh?
Yeah.
So that starts. When does that start? Soon, eh?
Oh no, that's rugby. Yeah, that's next.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's league. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh right.
No. Yeah, rugby. Yeah. Next. I thought it's the 7th it starts.
The rugby union.
Yeah. The women's one.
Soon, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's starting now. Oh, next weekend.
Next weekend. I think it's next weekend.
Yeah. So you're going to support Australia?
No, I'm not. No. I was thinking rugby league. No. She plays rugby league, not rugby.
So what's the club out there, Messi? Oh, what's your rugby league club you support? Do you support any rugby league club? Any local?
My son played for Glen Ora when he was younger. Then he went to Stags. Who have my nephews played for? Marist, Mount Albert, Glen Ora. Te Ratu. Troy played for Te Ratu. So maybe Te Ratu.
Oh, right.
The Roosters.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, it is Te Roosters because I know they're, yeah. But I have my mates and her father. He was the Bay of Plenty development officer anyway for rugby league. Anyway, my mate goes, "Oh, Troy used to play for the Roosters," and he goes, "Oh, Sydney Roosters." He goes, mate, Te Ratu.
The Poor Brothers came from there.
Yes. Yeah, Henry and Robbie. Yeah.
Henry, Robbie, Paul Lee.
Yeah.
Because one of them played for England rugby, rugby union.
I think it was Robbie.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Henry. No, it was Henry. I think
Henry.
Troy's the same age as Henry.
Oh,
No.
true.
How old would Henry be? Right, yeah. No, yeah. Their dad used to coach Troy at Tier 2.
Oh, true. Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Tier 2 Roosters, not Sydney Roosters. Yes.
Big difference, guys. Big difference there, guys. All right, Jacqui, good luck for the
Thank
elections.
you.
And have a good week.
You too. God, last week.
All right.
Thank goodness.
All right. See you.
Thank you.